Hello everybody! If you want all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 860, The Clay in the Sea, Intermediate. Clara sat at her workbench in the old pottery studio by the harbour. The air smelled of damp earth and dried glaze. She pressed her hands against a lump of soft clay, but it refused to take the shape she wanted. The edges cracked and the walls grew uneven. She wiped her hands on her apron and sighed. Thomas, her instructor, walked over from the kiln room. He carried a steel trimming tool and watched her struggle for a moment. "You are fighting the material," he said. "Clay does not respond to force. It responds to pressure and patience. Try again. But keep your elbows close to your body. Let your weight guide your hands." Clara nodded and placed a fresh ball of clay on the wheel. She centered it carefully, listening to the steady rhythm as the wheel turned. Her shoulders relaxed. She pressed her thumbs into the middle and pulled the walls upward in slow, even strokes. The shape began to rise, smooth and steady, like a wave lifting from the water. Halfway through, the rim wobbled. Her fingers slipped and the form grew slightly uneven. She stopped the wheel immediately. "Do not panic," Thomas called from across the room. "Adjust the pressure, not the speed. The mistake is only a problem if you refuse to correct it." Clara restarted the wheel. She pressed a wet sponge against the inside wall and guided the rim back into a perfect circle. Her breathing matched the rotation. When she finally lifted her hands, the bowl stood firm. It was not perfect, but it was honest. She carved a small line near the base, her personal mark. 2 days later, she opened the kiln door. The heat had faded and the room felt cool and still. Inside sat her bowl, transformed into a solid and glossy finish. She lifted it carefully and placed it on the display shelf. The journey from raw earth to finished object had taken time, but she understood now. True skill is not about controlling the material, it is about learning to work with it. If you learned a new word today, please make sure to subscribe so you can practice again next time. Vocabulary notes. Glaze. In the story, the air smelled of dried glaze. A glaze is a liquid mixture that is painted onto pottery before it is fired in a kiln. When heated, it melts and creates a hard, shiny and waterproof surface. It protects the clay and adds color or texture. Similar words: coating, finish, varnish, enamel. Instructor. Thomas is described as Clara's instructor. An instructor is a person who teaches a practical skill or subject, such as pottery, driving, or fitness. This word is often used for teachers who focus on training and hands-on learning rather than the academic theory. Similar words: teacher, trainer, coach, tutor. Centered. Clara centered the clay on the wheel. To center something means to place it exactly in the middle so that it is balanced. In pottery, this is a crucial first step. If the clay is not centered, it will wobble and collapse when the wheel spins fast. Similar words: balanced, aligned, positioned, stabilized. Wobbled. The text says, "The rim wobbled." The wobble means to move unsteadily from side to side. It suggests a lack of stability or balance. In the story, the clay bowl was not yet solid, so it shook slightly when Clara touched it. Similar words: shook, trembled, swayed, rocked. Transformed. The bowl was transformed into a solid and glossy finish. To transform means to change completely in appearance, character, or function. The heat of the kiln changed the soft, fragile clay into a hard, durable object. The change was significant and permanent. Similar words: changed, converted, altered, modified. Story written by Quen. Image created by Quen. To read, see all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. CC Music, Drifting at 432 Hz, Unicorn Heads.